when I was serving our human beings, I found that I was in touch with my heart in serving human beings. It might have been in serving trees or in serving animals or serving the planet, but for me, it was in serving human beings. It got me in touch with my heart. And so I wasn't bringing anything to the heart, I was actually serving others. Welcome to Satsang. Yes,
What's the best way to serve heart?
Well, it's a good question, but you'd have to want to. And what would be your motivator for serving heart? Most people serve themselves. They don't serve heart. There has to be a reason why someone would want to serve heart. And I can talk about my own experience with that. I wanted to serve heart because I experienced it. I experienced the most beautiful thing on this plane, unconditional love. And I experienced it as every particle in the universe. I got motivated. I wanted to find more of that beauty. And I realized that in order to find it, I had to start serving it. And so I started serving heart by chopping wood for people, by mowing people's lawns, by washing their clothes. Because at the time, I was walking around Australia. I'd given my companies to my staff, and I was walking around Australia, which I did for 4 years. And I wanted to serve heart, but I didn't really know how yet. Because as a business person, I did take care of everybody that was working for me and everybody that I was associated with, but that was because they were making me a profit. It wasn't true service of heart. It was service of self in taking care of others so they would take care of me, which they did. In true service of heart, I realized it had to be something a little bit more altruistic, where I wasn't getting anything back for it. And so I started, in my wanderings, I started doing physiotherapy work with people because I'd been trained in deep tissue massage. And I found that very enjoyable, to actually be able to help people with their backs and their necks and their bodies, their knees and their hips and whatever else wasn't working properly. And I realized that this might be something I would really enjoy doing in service of others. And so I went back to school and I trained as a naturopath. And I started working, doing physiotherapy work, basically with football players, rugby players, soccer players, cricket players, and the general public. I had no problems getting business. There was stacks of it around because I seemed to be able to get the weekend warriors back on the road pretty quickly. And I felt that I really enjoyed being in service in that way, in taking care. And so I felt like I was starting to really serve heart instead of just serving Vishrant. And what I found with that is that it made me happy. So I then discovered that while I was doing physiotherapy on people, giving them deep tissue massage, and adjusting their backs and necks and whatever else, I found that they wanted to talk to me. And I'd done around about 15 years of encounter therapy by that stage, maybe a bit more. And I started to train in psychotherapy. I did 3 years training as a psychotherapist because I wanted to be able to help these people with their psychological problems. And I'd already trained as a counsellor because that's part of the naturopathy. Oh, by the way, if you guys hear anything noisy around here, I've got my bulldog sitting next to me snoring. There he is, Harley Davidson. And I just loved it. I just loved helping people. I loved being able to fix people's bodies. I loved being able to talk to people and help them with their psychological problems, undo them. I was already trained in hypnotherapy, and so I used a fair bit of hypnosis to help relax people and take them through their defense systems. I specialized eventually in trauma release. People who had been traumatized as children or teenagers or whatever, and finding ways to get that trauma out of them, that pain out of them, so they could be free. And I just loved it. And I thought I'd be doing that for the rest of my life. But then I woke up. Enlightenment happened. And all of that just disappeared, almost overnight. Basically, I wasn't really ready for what happened. Clients would come to see me, and I'd just stare at them because I was so gone. It took me ages after enlightenment to actually learn to become a human again, or at least appear like one. Because I was so gone, I'd spend all day long just staring into space, blissed out to the max, because that's what enlightenment did to my mind. But then I started holding satsangs. People wanted to come and sit because they could feel the Buddha field. And it changed again, but still in service of heart. Because I love people. I love human beings. I don't like some of the things they do, but I love them. And to me, the way of the heart was the only thing worth doing here, because I couldn't see much point in anything else. I had lost every bit of belief that there was a purpose or a meaning to life, that I'd been fed by my parents, my church, my government, and realizing that everyone's here, but there is no purpose, there is no meaning. So what are you going to do while you're here? And I thought it was being successful, until I got really successful at a very young age, had all the toys, there's still nothing there. All you want is more toys. And I had lots of them. And so I gave all of that up to find my heart. And that was the best thing I ever did, finding my heart. But I was motivated to do it because I started to get glimpses of it. I started to feel it. And it was just so beautiful. And I recognized that the reason that most people don't feel that much love is because they're defended and closed. And that if we're willing to be wide open and vulnerable in the world, we can actually find a fair bit of heart. But if we're not willing to be wide open and undefended, well, we can't. Because those defenses, those closures are actually in the way of the perception of love. So it's been an interesting ride towards heart, because as a businessman, I can assure you I had none. I was just cold-blooded. And I did take care of a lot of people, but there was a reason for it. I was motivated by self-interest. I understood that if you take care of people, particularly your staff members, they take care of you. It wasn't out of me loving them, it was out of me doing business. It took a while before I started to do things and not look for something back, not some reward back. It took me a while to learn how to serve heart because I was so good at not serving heart. I was so good at serving myself.
Why do you think greater value isn't put on heart in our society, given people often talk about love and compassion being so important?
You can't make money out of it. We get taught at school to be efficient little machines. We don't get taught at school to love. We don't get taught at school to be happy even. But we do get taught at school to be successful. And so people chase their tails to be successful. And I did, and I was, and there's nothing there. It's just empty. Compared to unconditional love, it's empty. Unconditional love just makes your whole life beautiful. It's so lovely. And that's going to be up to you. How are you going to live your life? What are you going to serve? I recommend the serving of heart, but you've got to be motivated. You've got to have a motivator. You've got to want to. I wanted to because I really didn't think it was worth living without heart. Anything else?
You had that glimpse of unconditional love that you talk about that gave you the motivation to pursue a path of heart. If people or if someone hasn't had that glimpse or experienced unconditional love, how do you think they can find the willingness?
Yeah, it might be difficult. It's true. It might be very difficult. I mean, if we really, really examine our lives, we can't find much purpose or meaning in life. I mean, we can jump on a whole pile of belief systems that religions and that parents tell us, but they're bull dust. They're just belief systems. We're born, we suffer a while and we die. Or we're born and we have a beautiful life because we serve heart, and then we die. Whichever way you go, you're going to die. But while we're here, we can actually have a lovely life. Because when you find heart, it's like being in heaven. So I see myself as, in a lot of ways, a heart teacher, teaching people to find heart. Because I think it's the very thing that's lacking on this planet. Thank you, Sai. Hello. Now, I've done this before, haven't I, with Alex? Has anyone got anything they would like to ask questions about, or make statements about, or challenge whatever's been said here today? Or does anyone have anything they'd like to chat about? Alex, hello.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello, Alex. Do you still want to take sannyas, Alex?
Of course, I would love.
Good, because I got something for you. Okay. I was looking for a name for you, and I wanted to find one that fitted you, and I think I have. I think this one fits you. Your sannyasins name is Prem Rajan. I chose a name starting with Raj because Raj means king. Prem meaning love and Rajan meaning the best of kings. Not just king, the best of kings. And I go on. The best of kings is always a servant of the people. This is the way of the heart for those in charge of others. Be kind, be humble, be generous. Openness counts for everything. I give you our new brother, Prem Rajan. Welcome.
It's funny. So the definition for the name that you gave me, to be in service of others. At one of my Satoris, I kind of came to realize that the ultimate, I guess, leadership is being in service of others.
Yes, it is. The best of kings is a servant of the people. The best of kings. And I know that in your life, the way you live your life, you are a king in your realm. And you have a lot of people under you that you could take care of. And you do take care of.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I
I
do
like the
have
name. Yep, go ahead.
So is there good and bad in this world?
Is there
Good and bad in this world?
there's selfishness. And selfishness tends to be bent. When we move away from selfishness and move into selflessness, we become kind, we become humble, we become generous. I see there only being one sin on the planet, selfishness. There is no other sin. If there was no selfishness here, this would be a lotus paradise. But it's selfishness that's got all the wars happening, all the people killing each other, the rapes, the murders, the stealing. It's all selfishness when you really look at it. So is there good and is there bad? There's selfishness, and then there's the way of the heart. Because when you're motivated by love, you take care of everybody and everything. It's just how it makes you feel.
Okay, makes sense. How does one stay in the flow throughout life, throughout day?
Yep, it's a good question. By not closing, by not going into resistance, we can remain in flow continuously. The moment we close, the moment we go into resistance, we move out of flow into stuckness and into a form of suffering. In flow, we can remain happy. But if we're contracting constantly because we don't agree, when we're shaking our fist at God and saying, hey, you got it wrong, we move out of flow into stuckness, into resistance, and into suffering.
Okay, makes total sense.
Yeah.
I know it's easier said than done, but
Well, that's right. But anything that we want, we can do. We just got to put the effort into making it happen. You know, it took me ages to learn to stay in flow. But I was very fortunate in that when I was young, I was involved in Kung Fu, and Kung Fu is all about flow. And I learnt how to be in flow while fighting. And I just took that into every part of my life.
okay, this makes sense. Yeah. When I was a kid, I too practiced Vietnamese Kung Fu.
Ah,
dad made me do it. He met this teacher from Vietnam who was teaching of his family school, and since I was a kid, and my dad was doing it, I kind of had to do it. So I have an idea of what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got picked up by a teacher who was at my school. I was in boarding school, and he saw that I was getting bullied by the older boys. And he said, "How would you like to learn how to fight?" And I said, "Yes, please." I'd already been doing boxing, and he started training me in Kung Fu.
Interesting.
What he taught me was how to not get hit.
That's true. That's what I was taught. I wasn't actually taught how to attack. I was always taught you never attack first. But I was
Yeah,
taught
never.
not to hit.
Yeah, that rule. I had that rule too. You never hit first, ever. Yeah. He also said something else to me. You never get any belts, because once you get a belt, if you ever get into a street fight and you hurt someone, you can get charged with assault with a deadly weapon because you've got a belt. And so I never got any belts either.
Same here. Exactly the same here. What a coincidence. This is crazy.
Yep.
I have a practical question for you.
Yes.
During satsangs, should one stay with their eyes closed or open?
It's best to keep your eyes on me and consider that every question is asked is being answered to you. Because we all have a little bit of it of everything inside of us. And if you feel that I'm talking to you, you'll feel the transmission. So when I was with my teachers, no matter who was asking the question, I considered the answers were coming for me. And I'd listen like I'd asked the question. And so if the satsang went for an hour, I got an hour of therapy with my teacher.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Is there anything else, Rajan?
This is it for today. Thank you very much.
With that name also, you can always abbreviate it to Raj.
Oh, yeah. More practical. Yeah, that's great.
It is. I was looking for a name that you could also wouldn't be too hard to use in your position. And Raj is a reasonably easy name to use. Rajan, a little bit more difficult, but Rajendra, more difficult again. So I've come halfway for you.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, because I was thinking about that. I already started talking with people about, at some point I'm going to change my name and I'm on the spiritual path. And they looked at me crazy, but I told them, just know in the future you might start calling me by a different name.
Yeah. So I got given the name Swami Prem Vishrant. And man, what a difficult name as a Westerner to use, Vishrant.
That is true. Yeah.
But I stuck with it because it was really good for me. It meant relax or restful. And that was a thing that I needed to learn. It was like a teaching. It was a reminder. Okay, Rajan.
True.
Hello, Siva. Hello, Siva.
Hello, Vishrant. Vishrant, when you were raising your conscious levels as a seeker, in what ways did you try to help your family members to raise their conscious levels?
Yeah, I did. I paid for them to do courses with different teachers that I'd used, and one of my younger brothers attended quite a few courses, and my mother, I paid for her to do a course, and she walked out. I think she hit the instructor on the way out. Is there anything else?
So, Vishrant.
Thank you. David Purcell, boy, do I have something for you.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I've been anticipating.
Good. So, first of all, I want to show you, this is Prem Rajan's certificate, and Tosh will be sending him a copy of that.
Okay.
I should have shown that before, but I got carried away. Yours is here too, but I'm not going to show you. I'll read it to you.
Okay.
You do want to take sannyas, don't you?
I do.
Okay. So, your sannyasin name is Prem Samdashi. Now, you can use the word Sam, you can abbreviate it. It makes it easier for you in your truck business, or you can use the full name Samdashi. Prem meaning love, and Samdashi meaning seeing all as equals. Now, the only way that we can really see all as equals is to wake up, because then we see everybody as ourselves, not just equals. It is in dropping all judgments of others as different from ourselves that love is possible for all of humanity. We are really all one. Openness counts for everything. I give you our new brother, Prem Dashi. Sam Dashi.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Sam Dashi.
How do you spell it?
S-A-M, Sam, D-A-R-S-H-I, Dashi.
Okay.
And I found the name for you, and it reminded me of a time some 30 years ago when I had a friend called Sam Dashi, and we used to do Tibetan pulsing. We used to run nights for free for people to come along, and we'd do this Tibetan pulsing, which is a form of Tibetan healing. And we used to do it, I think, every Tuesday night for about 4 hours or 3 hours, and we did it for free. It was part of my finding the way of the heart by giving without looking for something in reward, as a reward in return.
I think it's very fitting for me. It's gonna be perfect as a lesson for me. I've been examining myself and my life and come to the realization that most of the time I use people as a means to an end if I examine it honestly. And so I'm trying to break that habit, and it's such a long-standing habit, and it's painful to realize that, you know? So I'm really trying to work out how to get past that, and I think this name is very fitting and will be helpful for that as a reminder.
Yep. Well, that's what I had to do, because I was very successful at using people as a business person, and I had to learn to be a different way in the world, be more of a giver than a taker. Even though it looked like on the outside that I was a giver, I was actually a taker, and I knew it deep down. I knew. People would have considered me generous and probably kind, but the truth is I was playing the money game. What could I get back for that, you know?
Sure. It's just selfishness in the end, right? And I realize that. And I'm getting to the point where I can feel myself doing that, you know, in the moment. And so I think that recognition will help me get past it, but I still have a ways to go for sure.
Seeing all others as equals. What a beautiful thing. Seeing all others as equals. You look the name up. It's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
You are very, very welcome. Samdashi. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, thank you.
Took me a while to find you a name.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm patient.
I'm happy with that name with you. It's a good.
I am as well. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, JN.
Hello.
Hello, JN.
I never got a certificate like the other sannyasins.
Didn't you? Well, you have to talk to Tosh about that. Tosh actually produces certificates and sends them to people. If he hasn't sent you one, well, he will send you one if you request it.
Okay.
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 Anything else, Jayan?
I think you said one time that it's possible to wake up without heart.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Enlightenment happens as a result of the mind being ready to support it. Because anyone can have a satori at any time for any reason, but to stay awake is something completely different. It's an accident that occurs. And I think that it is possible for people to wake up and not have found that much heart. Because I think to find heart takes greater let go. Anything else?
A few days ago, I've got into a sort of argument with my mom. I didn't pass my exams. You could say I passed half of the exams, kind of. And I asked if she could give me some money to attend to meet you for the mystery school, and she said no. And I got a bit this. I didn't accept it. So I started saying some things that I probably shouldn't have. I told her that I beat the dog because she used to beat me as well when she got angry when I was a child.
Yeah.
So why not I beat the dog when I get angry if she did that? And she got very angry.
And was this in an effort to punish her or to try to get some money out of her?
Just to punish her. That
Right. You should love your mother. She's taken very good care of you, Jayan.
she said she loves the dog more than me. I asked her, "Do you love the dog more than you love me?" And she said, "Yes."
I understand. Anything else, Jayan?
I don't like my dog at all. When it touches me, if I feel very like repel, like it's like I don't like to be touched by it.
You know what a sadhana is. You know how sometimes I give people sadhanas, which are teaching lessons?
I think so.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you a sadhana because you're a sannyasin of mine, you're a disciple of mine, and your sadhana is to love your dog.
How do I start?
I'm going to leave that up to you, but I'd like you to report back to me how you're doing it and how you're going with it.
All right. Thank you.
And if your dog was listening, your dog would be thanking me right now. Okay, Jayan. I will want to report back Hello, Rajesh.
Hi, Vishrant.
He has to love his dog. How are your eyes today?
Still blurry, but getting better.
What do you mean by getting better? Getting less blurry or getting less light sensitive?
Light sensitive, and just the feeling that they're less fragile in a way, that I can, do more and have less strain, eye strain.
So are you happy with the operation?
Not yet. I want it to be a bit less blurry.
Okay.
It's gonna get there, I hope.
I hope too. What would you like to talk about?
I hear or I listen to a lot of successful people have these morning routines that support them in them being successful.
Yeah.
Did you have any morning routine that supported you in the practices when you were still practicing?
Yes. My morning routine is I get out of bed immediately. I wake up. I don't stay in bed. Mahan, wake up. So if I wake up at 4 a.m, I'll be out of bed straight away. I'll be making my bed, getting ready for the day. I didn't go in for the second lot of dreaming, which is a lot of people do. They wake up and then they go into a second lot of dreaming. I found that killed my clarity. I found I was much better off if I woke up in the morning to get out of bed, make my bed and start the day. And so that began. And then there's a whole pile of things that I do, like feeding the dogs, turning the hot water system on. Lots of little things, making a cup of tea, cleaning my teeth. But they're all rituals. What, the dog is about to fall off? He may fall off. He's on the chair. He may fall off. But basically, there's these things that I didn't have to think about. I just did them every morning, and I still do them to this day. I just make it work.
The
I
waking up,
don't lay in bed dreaming. Once I wake up, that's it. I'm out of bed. Bang.
even if you only had, let's say, 3 hours of sleep.
No, if I actually went to bed at 12 o'clock and I woke up at 3 o'clock, I'd probably go back to sleep for a while. But if I woke up at 4 o'clock, I'd probably get out of bed.
So you basically had a minimum number of hours, and the moment you were over that.
Well, yeah. I only sleep 5 hours a night. I go to bed after 12 every night, and I usually get up just after 5 o'clock in the morning.
I heard that some people have, I don't know if it's a gene or something in their body that allows them to just sleep 5 or 4 hours, and that's enough.
I think in my case it's probably wearing Levi jeans and Wrangler shirts. I don't know. Anything else, Rajesh?
That's all. Thank you.
It's good to see you, and I really do hope that your eyes actually come back to 100%. Hello, Mahan. Can someone take the dog off here? He's very uncomfortable. Thank you. Anywhere. It's just he just needs to go off the chair. There you go. Bye bye, Harley.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello, Mahan. Yes.
There's some questions from YouTube viewers.
Yep.
Christian asks, you said that it is because of imagination that the I exists. Does that mean imagination creates the separation and suffering we want to avoid?
Yep. Anything else?
Francis asks, what to do besides taking a cold shower when a swarm of negative thoughts take over and I am sitting in negativity because of certain conditions in my life?
Well, cold showers are pretty good. Ice, the big fad in West Australia is jumping into baths filled with ice, plunging into icy water, and it's like I'm not into it myself, but people do it. It's one of the ways to get really, really clear and get out of your head pretty quick. If you've got a head full of negative thoughts, you have to get back to reality because you're dreaming. Whatever brings you back to reality is worthwhile. If jumping in a cold bath of ice water works, well, it works. Anything else?
Tanya asks, how can you run a business with yin energy, especially when oftentimes the leader needs to manage many people with yang energy to get things done?
Yeah. So I do that, by the way. I manage a lot of people and I operate from yin. When I need to, I go to yang and then back to yin. But I don't stay in yang. I live in yin. My life is lived in yin, receptivity, openness. But when I need to command, I might go to yang for a few seconds, command, and then back to yin. Anything else?
And Ralph asks, you say it's the individual I that is the cause of all suffering. You also say to accept ourselves 100%. Why accept the cause of suffering? Should I rather reject the person and focus on awareness?
Acceptance is the key to end all suffering because it basically teaches the mind unconditional surrender, and unconditional surrender is beautiful. Acceptance is the key. Resistance is the key to go to hell. Acceptance is the key to go to heaven. Anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Just try not to go to sleep during satsang. Hello, Abaya. Abaya.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello, Abaya.
Hello. Ah. um, um, so,
Anything else?
no, thank you, Vishrant.
Thank you, Abaya. Hello, Harley Davidson. They put him on the chair next to me and now he's making sounds. I bought him a pram today because it's so cold on the cement in the restaurants and the cafes. So I bought him a pram so I could wheel him in so he could lay in the pram. People think it's a bit weird. Hello, Valencia.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello.
I saw that beautiful video with you and Harley Davidson in that thing in a cafe.
Yeah, we took him into a restaurant and he was in this pram and he likes it in the pram. So I moved down to 𝐸𝐞𝐥𝐟 today because 𝐸𝐞𝐥𝐟 is near Fremantle and I normally live in Rollystone, which is in the hills. And I had a pram up there for him. So today I got a pram down here for him as well.
So now he's pram Harley Davidson.
Yeah, well, he likes the pram. Pram Harley Davidson. Oh, pram Harley Davidson. Yeah, very clever, yes. Is there anything you'd like to talk about, Felicia?
I had a problem a few days ago. I told you about the suppressed emotions about my family, about my grandmother, actually. And you said, yes, and you said that I need to accept the situation as it is and something in me. And I found out what I need to accept, just me with all those awful, so-called awful emotions. And it was really the entry point, because after that, everything was accepted, like automatically. My grandmother, all the situation, and now really I feel so good, and I found so much love to other parts of my family, to my partner, to my children. It's another quality. I don't know how to describe it. Thank you so much.
You did the work. You did the accepting. I just suggested it as an idea. You did the work. Thank yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yep.
Suppressing and avoiding emotions, is it a pattern? Is it a habit?
Yeah, it's a habit.
How does it, is it a habit?
It's a habit that's developed because we don't want to feel uncomfortable. Inside, a lot of wounding is helplessness and hopelessness. And we definitely don't want to feel that sort of thing, particularly in low self-worth. And so we avoid those feelings. We repress them rather than feel them. Yep.
See. And how can it be reprogrammed?
How can we, what, sorry?
How can we reprogram it better? What is the best way to reprogram
Okay.
it?
So you have to become willing to feel what's there instead of finding a way to avoid what's there. Once you become willing to feel what's there, you'll start to find the different ways you avoid, the different things you do to avoid feeling things. But first of all, you have to become willing to feel. And it is that willingness that makes the difference. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Felicia. And we have Loki. Hello, Loki.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm at home tonight, so it's good to be home and not in the car.
Yeah.
Was going to ask, has the avocado trees got some rain?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a heap of rain in the last couple of weeks, and the avocado trees are looking pretty good. Though the problem with the avocados is the avocado market has dropped incredibly as a result of too many people planting avocado tree crops. And so the avocado trees crop is not worth much anymore. And we still have to take all the avocados off every year, and we still have to take care of the trees, fertilize them and treat them. But that's going to be the love of labour now, because those trees are in my care.
Are they Hass or Shepherds?
Yes, we have mostly Hass and about 10 Shepherd. Yeah, about 10 Shepherds. I like the Shepherds because they grow really big avocados, but this year everything's a little bit dwarfed because we had some problems with water.
Yeah.
Because we have to supply our own water. We're not on mains water. We have to supply our own water from bores.
Okay.
And we use 90,000 litres of water a week in the summer.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a lot of water.
Thirsty.
They are very thirsty. Yeah, they're a fruit, really.
Yes. Yeah. That's all. Thank you.
When I look at the trees, I love them.
Yeah, I love trees.
Yeah, when I look at the avocado trees, I love them.
Okay.
Because every morning I have avocados on wafer. I have this rice cracker wafer, and I have crushed avocado on it with salt and pepper. It's my favorite for breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay, nice to talk to you, Loki.
Thank you.
And we have our space traveller, Aaron.
Hi, Vishrant.
Hello, Aaron.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the way of the heart. You obviously you say, how can you serve heart? Is serving heart when you bring the issues to the heart? So in some teachings that I've come across, they say they bring your sadness to the _𝐸𝐻 _𝐸𝐷.
Yeah, I never did that. My approach was to work out when I was serving human beings, I found that I was in touch with my heart in serving human beings. It might have been in serving trees or in serving animals or serving the planet, but for me it was in serving human beings. It got me in touch with my heart. And so I wasn't bringing anything to the heart, I was actually serving others. And I loved it. I really did. I really liked what I was doing. It made me feel good to do it. I went from being probably paid about $600 an hour back in the 80s as a businessman, down to around about starting at $25 an hour doing deep tissue massage. So it was a bit of a drop in income, if you can imagine. But it just made me feel so good to do that work, you know.
Selflessness, isn't it? Like what you said earlier, is that is the opposite to sin. And again, the heart is about giving, and when you give to others, it is almost like giving to yourself. Well, it is giving to yourself as well, isn't it, I guess?
Ultimately it is, but that's not what's in mind. It's given to the other. It's taking care, basically taking care. It's like when I see kids, they're all my kids. And I'll take care of all of them if I can, you know?
Lovely. And when you say finding heart, is heart located somewhere?
In my experience, no. Some people think it's here in the chest. There is a chakra there, which is called the heart chakra. But my experience is that love is everywhere. Love is in the air, and it's everywhere. It's not located in just one place. It's everywhere. And it's beautiful. I love you.
I love you too. One other thing I wanted to ask you, just a bit of a personal sort of curiosity question. You was talking earlier about flow, and I've also heard you mention that when you are releasing some stress and tension in the body, dancing is something that can release tension and release stress.
Yes.
When you often talk about kung fu flow, and obviously that's a contact sport. Perceptually, some people could feel that is a form of aggression, although when you're just sparring in the dojo, it's more of a dance.
Well, when I dance, I do kung fu. Well, it's a combination. It's a combination Tai Chi and Kung Fu, you know. Basically, it's moving with energy.
And dancing is a sort of an art of love, I guess, isn't it? A dance.
It can be. It can be. If you throw yourself totally into the dance, you become the dance. And it's very nice to do that, you know. But you can't afford to be worried about what other people are thinking about you. You just have to be the dance, and you just have to let rip and go for it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to say is that, you know, when you say the way of the heart is to perceive everything as one, no separation.
Oh, I didn't say, I said that's one of the things that happens. It's not that you can perceive everything as one and think you'll find heart. That's not what I was saying. When you find heart, when I find heart, like right now, everything is one. There's other people here, but they are me. You're here, you are me too. I'm not sensing the separation. I'm sensing the usness of it all.
That's real love.
Yeah.
Real love.
It's actually very beautiful.
That's all for me.
Okay, Aaron, nice to speak to you. Yeah, nice to speak to you. Akash. Hello, Akash.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello.
I heard in one of your previous Satsang videos, you talking about a book from Jack Cornfield.
Yeah, what was that book? Can anyone remember?
After the Ecstasy, the Laundry.
After the Ecstasy, the Laundry by Jack Cornfield. Yeah. It's a good book. And the laundry is clearing the path, getting all the obstacles out of the way. And so you can perceive heart, so awareness can find itself. That's the laundry. And the ecstasy is the invitation. It's the satori, it's the invitation to do the work, to prepare the mind and body for the ultimate accident, enlightenment. Is there anything else, Akash?
Thank you, Vishrant.
You are very welcome. Yes, Premdeep.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello, Premdeep.
I like very much this subject is quite good tonight. It's very touching.
It's good every night, Premdeep. It's good every night.
Yeah, but when you talk about more about the heart, then it's very touched me and get lots of tears in my eyes.
Osho was a heart teacher. He was my master, and he was a heart teacher. You know, he talked about love.
Yeah.
Talking about it's not as good as actually experiencing it as self. It's very beautiful. But to do that, you have to be wide open. You have to be vulnerable. You can't be closed and defended. You've got to be open. And in a lot of ways, that's against nature, because in openness, we don't survive. Yet, if we want to find heart, we have to find a way to be open in the world, vulnerable in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Anything else, Premdeep?
No, that's all. Thank you, Vishrant.
Okay. I'm sorry, Amber. I'm sorry, Aloka. It is time. Thank you for Satsang. Good to see you brave hearts here tonight.